Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Star Trek Discovery Season 2, Episode 9. It's called Project Daedalus, I'll say.
Daedalus. Yeah.
Daedalus. But yeah, full spoilers for the episode, as always. So, yeah, this one's directed by Jonathan Frakes. Not that I've pointed that out every time, but I just noticed it as I glanced over there, so I thought I'd mention it.
Yeah.
Who, of course, is Riker from The Next Generation, if you're wondering why that's relevant. Yeah, this episode, first of all, notably no Ash Tyler.
It's always a positive.
In fact, at one point, Admiral Cornwell's in this episode, and at one point she says to Pike, "Oh, where is Tyler?" He's like, "Oh, confined to quarters where he can't do any further damage," and he literally never shows up the whole episode. And I went, "Yes, good on you, Pike. Yes, confined to quarters. Let's keep
Pike's
that
got
going."
our best interest in
Yes.
heart, as this episode proves. Pike is the best of them.
Yes. Yes, that is literally a plot point that comes up. Whilst debating the morality of using mines, which, as far as Starfleet are concerned, are forbidden. They're not allowed. But during
Yeah.
the war, things get a bit shady, and the Admiral Cornwell's trying to justify this, and Pike's like, "Wait, is this why you never called the Enterprise back in to help fight the wars because you knew I'd fight you on this?" And he's been all standing, he's been Superman basically.
Yeah. He's having none of this shit.
And Cornwell's, no. The reason why you weren't called back into the war is that if we lost, then we knew the best of us were still out there, and hope for the future would remain. And it's like probably the best compliment anyone could ever receive is that if we all die, we had to ensure the best of us was still alive, which means
Yeah.
you. And he's like, "Oh well,
I'll do then.
I'll do. Okay, continue, everyone, continue." I did like that scene though. I like that scene quite a bit. So yeah, this is the Arium episode. This is where we deal with what's inside Arium, what's going on. I wouldn't say we have all the answers right now. There's still a lot of questions I think to get to, but
Yeah.
the
This
core
episode frustrates me
the core missions there. The episode frustrates you. Why does it frustrate you?
because I want to love it.
You want to love it.
I do. I want to. I like everything that's there, but it shouldn't all be in this episode.
Okay.
It just it feels like, like I say, this is the Arium episode. I'm like, this would have a lot more weight if we knew who Arium was before this episode.
Yeah, beyond just she's the robotic looking one on the bridge.
There's scenes where there's all the bridge crew sitting, they're chatting and playing cards. It's one of her memories, and they're all friendly with her. I'm like, why couldn't we have seen any of this ever before?
That's a fair critique. It doesn't bother me that much, just because this is weird. It is because the bridge crew have definitely had more moments this season than they have last season. The way I was thinking about this at the end of the episode is that she's basically a red shirt, but on this show, red shirts at least were consistently in the background before they died. Does that make sense?
Yes, but this episode is at odds with that. This spends so much time with her. Like, hey, she's always here. Arium. Look, this is how much you know her.
No,
Look
sure.
at her
I'm
backstory. I'm like, then she stops being a red shirt once you put this much effort into it.
That's kind of my point. Is that red shirt's unacceptable anymore? Is like we do put in more effort. Now, I agree that we should have gotten to know her before now. I think that video of her watching her, because I mean, I didn't even know she used to be a human.
Me either.
That was a revelation at the start of the episode.
We were going like some sort of android woman, right?
Yeah. And she's more like Robot Man from Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Apparently. But we found out early on, and that did strike me as weird that we didn't know that yet. Which would have been fine if the episode didn't end the way it ended, because I thought, okay, we're getting to know her. Because there was two ways this could have went, right? One is, this is the episode where she dies, so it's making us care before she dies, which is what it turned out to be. And it does an okay job of that, I think. I don't think it's a poor job of that at all. And then the other option, which I was also considering as I was watching it, is that, no. She's going to get close to dying by the end of this episode, but ultimately she'll come out of this stronger, and we'll have a stronger main character because we'll know her so much better than we did before.
Who the hell she is, yeah.
Yeah. And not only just because we learn some of her backstory, but because she'll actually be important in the plot, and then it will come out the other end, and she'll have bonded stronger with us, the audience, as well as the other characters more. That was the other option. Obviously, it wasn't that one. It was the former. It was, no, she dies at the end of this episode. I get what you're saying. I do. I still really like this episode, though.
That's why I'm so frustrated, because everything in it I like, but I'm just the death did not land as well as it should have done because I'm going. I only learned this about a half an hour. I only even started to give a shit about her 15 minutes ago. I could have been giving a shit about her all season. You could have been sprinkling. I didn't need to. All right, show me the memories this episode, fine, but we could have learned that information before, just in context. But you said, her interactions with the crew. Tilly making the big speech was like, "Hey, we care about you. What is it? I adore you. I think is what she says.
Yeah, that was the phrase.
And I'm like, do you? I've seen you have like 3 lines of conversation back and forth all season.
That's fair. No, that's fair. I think that rings. Do you know what the thing is that it rings hollow in a representation sense. It doesn't ring hollow in a performance sense. I actually think Tilly does a really good job.
Oh, she does, yeah.
What's her face? Yeah. Mary Wiseman, that's her name.
Yeah, she does a great job. This isn't her fault.
She sells that scene. She really does. And that's great. And I think part of the reason why she sells that so well is because she is such like a quirky character, and she doesn't try to be like a TV character. Does that make sense? Like she feels like she's more a real person, and that came across still in that scene.
No, I'm with you.
Which made it feel a bit more genuine.
A great job, and it's not her fault at all. She's doing the best she can, and it's close, but it just I couldn't get it out of my head that I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. I find it hard to believe.
I'm not as harsh on this as you are. As much as I agree in concept with everything you're saying. Everything you're saying about I'd like this to be sprinkled out throughout the season, I agree completely with that. But the episodes mostly still work for me. I think it worked because the performances were as good as they were, because the episode itself is actually quite well done. It's full of a little set pieces which we'll get to, but I think the end of the episode is like, as she's dying in space after she's been jettisoned out the airlock, she gets, Tilly sent her memory, her last human memory, so that she could revisit. It's her and her husband walking on the beach, and we hear her say her line, "Oh, we're going home now," or something like that. Yeah. And then it cuts out, and she's just like, it does the Terminator 2 thing where it's like it's the POV of it. It turns off. It's like a screen turning off, and then the credits just start playing. And not that Terminator 2 goes straight to credits when that happens, but that's what I thought of.
I appreciate that there was no music of the credits.
Yeah, it was not. It played it somber.
The waves from the memory.
Yeah, it played it very somber. Would that moment play even better if this is a character we'd cared about? And it made me think of a certain character on a hit television show spin-off. If you remember Angel, I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but there was a character early on in Angel who passed away, and the reason why it made me think of this character was the use of a video.
This is a tangential link at best.
No. Because the episode ended with the other characters watching the video that the character was in at the start of the video, and it kind of bookended the episode. And this kind of reminded me of that, of ending it with the video again. Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay, neat. Of course, the one thing Angel had over this is that we'd spent like the previous 9-10 episodes really getting to know
the character.
Yeah.
And I'm not even holding this. I'm not even holding this responsible from season 1, but fine.
Sure.
Season 1, forget it. Let's pretend this was a brand new show, right? This season.
I often do.
It's the best thing you can do, really. It's just the writers knew this was coming. This isn't like a big surprise that we just decided to do last minute.
That's true.
They've been making an effort all season with the bridge crew, like not huge moments like this, but even in this episode, Detmer going, "Oh yeah, 3 cheers for cybernetics." Just a little bit. That was a nice moment.
That was a nice little touch, because she does something really fancy in the computer, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'm kind of cybernetic too." It's because she has like the one bit in her face.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to Arium, but sure.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, that's character. Like just little bits like that, but Arium hasn't even had any of that over the season.
When do we get the scene of Detmer and Tilly bonding over being ginger? When does that happen?
Probably the episode Detmer dies.
So here's the thing: because they've done it to one another now, I don't think they can do it to any of the other
No, they can't.
The bridge crew that we kind of know for a long time.
Yeah.
And we have one less to get to know now, which is the other plus.
Yeah, but it frustrates because objectively she's quite an interesting one, right? The person who's so cybernetically enhanced that we didn't even know she was meant to be a person.
Do you know, if I have a complaint, And it's not even so much a complaint with this episode itself so much as it is just the idea that I'm just concerned like how convoluted the overall plot of this season might feel, even though I really like the new thing it's added into it, which is the idea of control going kind of self-aware and trying to advance itself, and what it's taking from Arium is actually data from the sphere, because obviously that sphere had been collecting data for hundreds of thousands of years. Is it wanted any data on AI? Now this could lead to the AI in the short trek.
It could indeed.
Which I was thinking about, but. And I'm like, okay, I like this. I like the idea of the big bad in a season of Star Trek being an AI. You know, I'm thinking of 2001. I'm thinking, what are you doing, Dave? Right? Yeah, give me that for a season of Star Trek. I'll have that.
I'm just thinking, the AI with the voice that we had in that show. She could pull that off.
She could. What are you doing, Dave? It's basically a sexier Hal. Let's be honest.
Pretty much.
Yes. So no, like I actually really like this as a concept. My only concern right now, and it might not be a big deal, because right now we still don't entirely know the ins and outs of exactly what's happened. Because at first it felt like Section 31 is given control, pardon the word, more control, right? Because they want to use control to succeed. But then we get to the base of Section 31, and control seems to have killed all the Section 31 operatives on the base. And they've been dead for 2 weeks, as if it's and I love that. Some of my favourite scenes in this episode were Michael, Arium, and Nan arriving on the station and like going through the spacesuits on, and it's eerie. It's like a horror movie. That's my shit.
Look good. It was really reminding me of The Expanse.
Yeah, Expanse. It's,
late season 1, that sort of stuff in The Expanse.
It's some of the creepier missions of Mass Effect. It's the stuff I love about aliens, like showing up to the site afterwards and like discovering what happened. It's my kind of stuff. I love that stuff.
That's good stuff. And when they turn the gravity on and all the bodies just fall down around them, that's a great moment.
Yeah, and obviously, it's one of those things where you see this twist coming, but it doesn't make it any less satisfying when they turn over the body and it's the admiral that we're talking to in the comms. It's like, wait a minute, who the hell was I talking to if she's been dead for 2 weeks? And it neatly ties into like how the Spock murder footage was forged as well, but it's the same thing where it wasn't really him, it was a hologram.
It's a hell of a hologram.
It's a hell of a hologram. Well, we know he did fight them, so obviously it's just kind of taken that and went further. I mean, I guess like everyone in the room is a hologram for the recording that Control's putting out.
Yeah.
Well, otherwise, how could the hologram? Like...
No, I know. I was a little unclear on that though, because Starfleet seemed to think three people are dead, right?
Oh no, I think they are dead, but I don't think Spock killed them.
No, I don't think Spock. But how did they die then? If they think they're dead, if they found them dead in that room and are like, well, hang on a second.
If Section 31 is on it to this extent, then someone from that, or did Control just like activate a phaser and
maybe
blast them? I don't know.
Just raises some logistical questions that I hope we get answered. Not like, oh, I'm really annoyed about these, but I would like answers.
Yeah, curious. Because at this point we don't even know how much is Section 31. I mean, given the state of the base, I assume they're not on board with what Control's doing, and they're Control's acting independent of them.
You would think, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, oh man, we're just introducing this, and it's like, is this the? I mean, right now it seems to be the threat that the Red Angel seems to want to try and prevent. If we're going with the idea that this AI leads to the annihilation of all sentient life, as Spock keeps putting it.
See, yeah, what's interesting me is though is that it was the Red Angel that essentially led them to the sphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get this information in the first place. And I'm wondering, is it actually like a self-fulfilling thing? Like it's intentionally trying to
the Red Angel is the AI, is Control in the future.
Yeah. And it's trying to engineer its own existence, essentially.
Was the short trek Control before it advanced to Red Angel state?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, and the Red Angel that we see, there is nothing inside it. It's just a suit.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. It's just a cybernetic...
Yeah.
Cybernetic organism, just one of those.
Just one of them, yeah.
So is it not? I love a lot what this episode did. I really do. We had some fun action scenes, like going through the minefield, and there's just it's like this dive and dodge, and how do we tackle
Looked
this?
Good though, didn't it?
It did look good. That last 15 minutes though was great, and Nan survives as well, because there's actually a really neat scene earlier on where Arium's like, because Nan's not human, she's like an alien, and she's like, do you need that apparatus to breathe? You know, the thing on her face. And she's like, yes. And it's just, you can almost just see Arium like, go, okay, save the favourites.
Yeah.
Save the favourites.
Save to archive in her case, but you know.
Save to archive, whatever. But she rips that out later on.
Yeah, and she's wheezing around, clutching, trying to get it.
And it's worth mentioning it's not Michael that's because Arium gets a little bit of control back until he kind of gives her the love pep talk essentially, and she actually requests that Michael put her out the airlock. She's like, no, open the airlock, otherwise I am going to finish this. I'm going to kill you and then kill everyone on Discovery. You have to kill me. And it's a really well done scene. You know, it's kind of their can in a way, not exactly the same, but you know,
see it.
Just because they're separated by the door and it's all, you know.
Yeah.
But it's actually Nan who, like, you know, jumps up and pulls the lever. Hit the lever. I'm sorry, that was a Pachinko Silent Hill 2 reference. I apologize.
I was immediate flashback to horrible memories.
Yeah.
Just stories associated with that sound.
So no, I really like that stuff at the end. And then there's some character stuff there. So I think it's worth noting that Michael couldn't do it herself, or maybe she was going to, and she would have went through with it, but we don't really know yet.
Never know.
But there's stuff with her and Spock. Spock's getting agitated with her. He's not playing chess logically, and this is frustrating the shit out of her. But he seems to be making a point that to beat some opponents, you have to not do the obvious thing. You have to do things that, because that's how they eventually get through the minefield. Is Michael goes, hey, if the computer's analysing our moves and predicting what we're going to do based on what we've already done, then start just randomly doing things so it can't predict them.
Yeah, so they just get everyone else, shout out a maneuver, then, you know, take it in turns, just random.
Yeah, and even the names are like random. She starts shouting out, hey, Detmer, you shout something. It's like, yeah, I'm going to do this. You know, and so on. So that was, and maybe that'll be key to like beating the thing overall, beating Control as it is. Worth mentioning as well, Arium did get 25% of the data to Control.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Got a starting point, if nothing else.
That is true. That is true. Joe, I hope next week is just like an hour-long interrogation of Ash, and they're just like torturing him.
I think worth noting as well, Arium downloaded everything into her, right? You know, so if the body could be recovered, it's all there.
I mean, assuming her data storage still
wasn't destroyed, yeah. Which I mean, I don't know.
Assuming it's like turning off a computer with a hard drive still there and can still be recovered later. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering, could like someone theoretically pick the body up and download those memories, that data?
Yeah, no, I can see that. I could see that. So no, I like all that stuff. Stamets with Spock's actually kind of entertaining. He's like, will you two speak out loud? I need noise. And then they start arguing. He's like, you know what, turns out your speaking is too loud, go away.
Yeah, go away. Yeah.
And then later on he's like dropping truth bombs and Spock's like, maybe you're unique, like let's assume that it didn't pick you at random, this Red Angel, you know, maybe the fact that you're half human. He's like, well, yeah, half human's fairly unique, but it's not completely, you know, it's not like there's more of us. Yeah, I'm not the only half human Vulcan. There's more than that. There has to be something else. So, you know, maybe something to do with the fact that you're Michael's brother. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Well, yeah, because obviously Arium's last thing is to Michael, it's you're the key. You know, you're the one it wants to stop. Yeah.
In fact, you know, it's funny because she said, you know, find out about project something, right? And I didn't catch it because it was like a unique word, and I was like, what was that? And I went back and put it on the subs. Turns out it's in the title of the episode, so I could have just looked at the title.
Yeah. Are you familiar with who Daedalus is?
I have no idea. Go on.
Okay, so it's the father of Icarus.
Okay.
So obviously Icarus was, you know, the wings, you know, fly too close to the sun. You know, it was the idea
of the story of Icarus.
Yeah. The idea of balance, right? You know, too high and it's dangerous, too low and, you know, dangerous as well. And Daedalus he was the guy who built the wings and designed them, and, you know, ultimately he listened to his own advice and survived. So just wondering, you know, why would you name something after him, you know, after that story?
If it's to do with AI, maybe it's the idea of you want it to be smart but not
too smart.
Not too smart. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just making a stab at that. I don't.
Yeah.
I need more information to process the data.
No, I agree.
I said that as robotically as possible.
You did.
No, I dug most of this episode. Like I get the complaints. The complaints are valid, but ultimately everything there was still very effective once it really started hitting all these things at the end.
Yeah. I just ultimately didn't feel the death in the way that I absolutely should have, and it takes away a lot of the impact from the episode, even though it's very good.
I hope we do spend more and more time with the other characters, because I feel like I'm getting a little bit of like the Detmer sense of humor.
Yeah.
They make a lot of glances with each other on the bridge when something happens. Like I actually love their
Just little
reactions.
like that really tell me a lot about their personality. Right?
It was the moment where
sarcasm.
where Cornwell says, "Oh, you're the best of us," blah 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 to Pike. And before he responds, it goes around the room, and we get Detmer, and we get all the others' reactions.
Yeah.
And they all just starting to smirk, like that was really like like that was like a touching
serious
sentiment.
praise. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like they're kind of there for us, for the audience's reactions. Bizarrely, it's almost the equivalent of canned laughter, but it's much more effective and less intrusive because it's natural.
It's just better. Yeah.
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 But that's fine. That's I'll take it.
I get that.
I'll take it. Yeah, actually, just to go back to the line that Pike had when he was arguing about this, I believe the phrase, I'm going to try and get this as accurate as I can. If we give up our principles in the name of security, then we've already lost. It was something like that.
Yeah, it was something like
that. Yeah, just I don't know, put that in a statue somewhere. It's good.
I feel like it's already on the statue somewhere.
Very probably, but I feel like good words to remember. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it is.
So there you go. That was a good episode. I keep saying it. We've had one bad episode this season, and I stand by that.
No, I agree, because obviously this didn't land for me. I'm frustrated that this could have been amazing. Like, it could have been a fantastic episode for me. But I mean, it's still a good episode, right? I'll still take this over season 1.
Oh, easily.
Like, comfortably. Yeah, exactly.
It may be probably my top 3 of the season.
That's fair. I think the reason I'm so frustrated with it is because it is already good, and I can, when I watch a bad episode or something, I'm rarely frustrated because I'm like, it's shit, I don't care. With this, I'm frustrated because I can see a version of this episode where it's one of the best episodes of the show easily. Like it'll be like okay, this might be number 1. Whereas I don't think it's actually at that point.
Yeah, I love Maiko's desperation when she's refusing. She's I'll try and get into the computer and switch everything off because that'll stop it, or I'll try this, and she's like blasting at the door, and and Pike actually is like, Michael, open the airlock. That's an order. You have to open the airlock. And he's not the bad guy at this point because we know what his principles are. We know how much he'll stick to his principles, and we already hear Arium saying, "Put me out the airlock," like multiple times by this point.
Yeah. It's like there's nothing else to be done, but Michael won't accept it.
Yeah. Which is one of her flaws. It always kind of has been.
Yeah. I mean that's been the case back to the start of season 1. It's essentially why she started a war.
Yes, in fact, we had a reference to that because Spock threw it in her face at one point during the argument, and then threw other things in her face. Like, she's basically got like a Batman complex where she
does a bit.
She feels like responsible for not like saving her parents when she was a kid from Klingons, and it's like, you were a kid. What were you going to do? Like, what were you going to do? Like,
I think the idea is that she feels responsible because she told them to go wait and watch the thing when they should have been going somewhere else, and because they waited, the Klingons got them.
But just like Bruce Wayne saying, "Hey, I'm scared. Can we leave the movie theater?"
Exactly. It is Batman.
It's Batman. Michael's Batman.
Yeah, I can't argue with it.
Maybe the Red Angel suit is just her bat suit. That's fine.
Oh, I want the Photoshop now of someone just sticking a bat logo on it.
She's gonna like basically like, Michael, what are we going to do about these Klingons? It's just going to look at him and go, justice. Justice for breakfast, dinner, and lunch. All right.
I think we're done.
So we're done, yes. I like the episode a lot, though. So that is been Star Trek Season 2, Episode 9. Let us know what you think of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. It's worth mentioning, we also review classic Star Trek episodes. We're working our way through The Next Generation right now. We'd already finished the original series. You can find all that on YouTube. You can also find it on the Star Trek Viewers Log Classic Series audio feed, as opposed to the modern series, which is what this is on. So you can check out that. Get us on Patreon at patreon.com/MailFuzzTV if you want to support the show and the channel and everything we do here. You get some stuff early, you get some exclusive stuff. You can support us for as little as $1 per month, and every dollar matters. So yeah, get us on Twitter's at mail_fuzz as well for some channel updates. But that is us, so thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, keep watching Star Trek, and to everyone but Connor, live long and prosper.